right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Today's session is Keys to Success in Graduate School. We'll start with 5 tips for success in graduate school. Then we have a group of current graduate students, our emissaries for graduate student diversity, that will share advice through a question answer session. If at any point during this session you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we will answer them at the end of the session. So the first point in our 5 keys to success in graduate school would be to be proactive, take responsibility for your own grad school experience. We want you to think about what you really want from graduate school and identify opportunities to attain these goals. Don't wait for faculty members to come to find you. Take initiative and build relationships with faculty in your department. Look for opportunities. Continue the mental transition from being told what to do to deciding what to do. The second tip is to know your program requirements and timelines. For master students, it's going to be taking coursework, comprehensive or qualifying exams, research thesis or major project, and public presentation and or defense of a thesis or your project. For doctoral students, it's going to be coursework, forming a dissertation committee, research proposal approval, comprehensive exam, and then dissertation completion and defense. You want to give yourself deadlines, develop a work schedule, and work toward your goals. The third thing is to participate in the intellectual community of your department and also of your campus. You should seek input and collaboration from faculty members and your peers, and don't isolate yourself. You should get out there and create and follow an annual plan. Attend optional seminars and lectures within and beyond your program or department. Attend and present at conferences, and begin thinking of yourself as a member of your profession and academic field. For the fourth tip, you want to prevent or deal effectively with problems. When it comes to supervision or advisement, you want to clarify your expectations and utilize good communication to resolve issues. For academic progress, you want to understand the requirements and policies and resolve to seek help early. When it comes to finances, you want to have a plan and apply for additional funding opportunities. When we think personally, you need to realize the importance of self-care and utilize services like counseling services if needed. And lastly, for academic misconduct, you really want to learn university-related policies. The key is to deal with problems sooner rather than later. And then the fifth tip in our keys to success would be to seek balance and support in your life. You want to remember that you have a support system that is outside of school. So family, friends, other colleagues. Remember the importance of eating well and also seeking out many additional resources that you would need. Ultimately, you want to keep graduate school in perspective. You want to be a finisher, and ultimately, you want to graduate with your degree. So at this time, we have some students here that I'm going to give an opportunity to introduce themselves, starting with Sabina Ali.
Hello, my name is Sabina Ali. I'm a first-year PhD student in the Department of Religious Studies, and I'm minoring in Jewish Studies.
I don't think Dante's on, so we can go to the next person.
I'll go. Hi, I'm Diane Wellington, a second year student in the Literacy, Culture, and Language Education program, as well as the Inquiry Mythology program. I'm originally from Jamaica, um, went to Bennett College, North Carolina A&T, and now I'm here at IU.
I can go now. Hi, I'm Shukufar Rahman. I'm from Bangladesh and I am second year PhD student in curriculum and instruction. My major in science education.
Hello, everyone. My name is Riddhi Sood. I'm a fifth year PhD candidate and I study ovarian cancer.
And I am Dr. Bianca D. Evans Donaldson, Assistant Dean for Diversity and Inclusion in the University Graduate School. So when we think about our first question, can you all provide some actionable tips for managing time while being in graduate school?
I can go first. I would say to be sure to make a plan and prioritize, because it can become a lot, but set your priorities and then move accordingly.
I would like to say like carrying a planner with you all the time and please plan ahead in a week, every week, like you have to make a day that you are planning for the whole week. And if you are planning ahead of time, then you can make it on time.
Personally, for people doing research and lab work, just like Shikufa said, I set aside half of a day to plan and, make sure to break down your experiments into small parts so that it's not as overwhelming. And yeah, find a place where you can put all your appointments, whether it's online or if it's an app or if it's a planner. Find a system that works for you and stick to it.
Yeah, and I would add to all of that, also plan your time off so that you know the exact times you'll have to relax and spend time with your family or whoever you want to spend time with.
Very good. The next question is, what is the biggest mistake graduate students make first starting graduate school? If you all could go back and talk to yourself when you were first starting, what is one piece of advice or one mistake that you'd like to avoid in the process of graduate school?
I could start. I'm smiling because I was talking about this the other day. Not giving myself enough grace and time to learn. I think coming from the workplace to school, thinking that I had to be this great whatever, whoever, and know everything, and then learning quickly that I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So giving myself some grace. I think that's the biggest mistake. Give yourself time to learn.
Yeah, and also don't say yes to everything. There's a lot of great opportunities and you're going to want to say yes to everything and everything sounds great, but make sure you're strategic about what you say yes to and can like really explain like why this is helpful and relevant to you at this moment.
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. So I would like to say, like, as an international student, so this was my first time to coming in US, and I feel like lots of thing changes and lots of cultural aspects I have to explore for the first time. And one thing I would say that don't feel shy or don't feel embarrassed to ask for help. If you have any concern, any question, go and ask. Everybody here to help you out, but you need to ask that thing.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing. Older grad students are a gold mine. They seem busy, but go hound them. That's part of their responsibility.
So the next question is, how can students best define success while in graduate school, or how do you define success as a graduate student?
Personally, for me, I think it's always a struggle trying to keep work-life balance. And it's, taking it day by day and have breaking down big goals. For example, you want to graduate, breaking it down to year milestones and breaking that down even more, like what needs to be done. Oh, maybe you need to mentor students. So break it down into small goals. That helps. And personally, for me, work and life balance. If I do it today, that's a success for me.
I just want to resonate the same words that Riddhi said. So I know the PhD is a long journey and you have to survive this journey. So better not to go attempt for a final goal. Better have a small set goals for each week or each month or each semester, and stick with your timeline better as more as you possible. Stick with your timeline, and always find some time for yourself, as Diane said, and grace yourself from the beginning. So always find something for yourself. That's really important.
So I define success as whatever my goals are and if I've met them, if that makes sense. So trying my best not to measure it according to what the advisor or whoever else says, but more so how I see it. So not saying that their input is not important, but just saying that you only know, or that person only knows what you tell them. So you need to work at your own pace, whether that means you're moving fast or moving slow to meet whatever that means of success for you. So that's kind of like how I see success in graduate school.
Yeah, I agree with everything everyone said. And also, do you feel like you're learning? At least for me, am I finding my voice as a scholar? Am I being challenged? Am I growing? Those are something I try to reflect on every couple of weeks, especially because, like everyone said, it gets busy and then flies by. And I think it's important to not only define your success, but reflect on whether or not you're on that journey.
Very good. I like you kind of define your own success piece, and that process is very different for everyone. So thank you all for sharing those answers. The final question is, what is your best piece of advice for graduate students or prospective graduate students? Just 1 to 2 tips that you feel like would help people be successful in this journey of either getting a master's 2 to 3 years or getting a PhD 4 to 7 years. It kind of varies. What are 1 or 2 tips that you would give to prospective graduate students?
I'll start because I'm going to share something. When I applied for graduate school, I applied for 5 schools and got into absolutely none. It was then after, through getting into IU, I found IU. So with that being said, don't give up, because the school that you want to go to is there. And you can also carve your own niche at the school that you decide to attend. So you can still be you and attend a school that you never thought you'd be at. You just have to make sure you stand firm in whoever you are. And then while here, I would say you can do it. Just keep on pushing. It's going to get hard, but remember your why. I think that why is the motivation that I go by, because I know that I want to be the difference I wish I saw. So because of that, I keep on pushing. So I would say just remember your why and don't give up.
Yeah, 100%. And focus on what you're passionate about, and because you're going to get there and you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to have that imposter syndrome, which all of us have had. You're going to feel like, oh man, there's so much I don't know and everyone knows so much. But you do have something to contribute, and something that helps me is to be like, okay, this is the very particular subject that I applied, for, and this is what I'm going to focus on, and I am good at it, and I do have something to say, and it's okay that I don't know a lot of other stuff.
I'll add to that. Find your community, find your support system as early as you can. There's going to be a lot of different characters you're going to meet. I think I feel like as a person of color, I get my strength from, people who uplift me rather than who put me down. So I will say, it doesn't matter who it is, your family, your friends, find them and fast. And yeah, and I think what Diane said in the starting, yes, keep on trying and trying. But if there's a point you need help, I think you need to be real to yourself and to other people, and go get counseling if that's what you need. It's really hard. I think grad school is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So it is going to be hard, and sadly people are going to make it hard sometimes. So find the support and find the help if you need it.
I agree with everyone, and every piece is really important in graduate life. I just want to say, yeah, find a support system and don't isolate yourself. You have to be connected with the people. You need to meet people. You need to mingle with them. You need to have your own life, despite of all this pressure you will get in the graduate life. So hanging there.
I have to totally agree with everything that you all mentioned, especially the find your why piece. Things will get difficult if somebody that has completed a PhD, when you go back to your why, that is how you're going to continue with coursework, with the research that you're doing. When experiments don't work, the why you are ultimately doing this is so important in you continuing on to finish this process. Do we have additional questions about keys to success? Any additional comments from our panel? Anything else you would like to add?
Well, I guess I'll just ask the panelists, how did you deal with imposter syndrome?
So I haven't finished dealing with it. I think I struggle very much so with who am I supposed to be on any given day and what is expected of me at any given point. I will say when I first got here, I used to reread my personal statement over and over again to see why people were so happy to see me all the time. Because I was kind of like, what did I write? So I had to really go back and read what I wrote and what I said I was going to do to make sure I remember what I said I was going to do and make sure I'm doing what I said I was going to do. So that's my answer. I haven't dealt with it. I'm still learning. Just being honest.
I think that really resonates with me. There's a study somewhere that said we tend to remember negative things more than positives. Mm-hmm. So I tend to, like, when I get a positive comment, I repeat it to myself at least 2 times and then try to remember it. That's kind of how I deal with it.
I think when you all were talking about community and support system, like those are the people who help me deal with imposter syndrome. It's like find a person, or a group who you can vent to, right? Like, I feel like I don't belong here. And they know you enough to be like, remember this, right? When you don't have the willpower to remind yourself, it's nice to have someone else to be like, no, you belong, you work hard for this, you're still working hard, you can do it. Yeah.
My support system was in my department, like my cohorts and my senior cohorts. They really helped me. They said, yeah, they all go through their post-term things. And I also like, yeah, talking with them really relieved me a lot. Like still I'm in that phase, I guess, but still I went there to get relief of my stress and everything.
I will.
Very good.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. I will say though, even though I'm still working through it, I do understand the difference in being who I need to be for me versus who I need to be for others. So it's still there. It's just one of those things that you're still measuring yourself as to like, am I the great student that I really want to be? So stuff like that, or whoever.
Very good. Those are some great answers. And I will just say, having great mentors will help you and take you far. Even if it's a mentor that's like your auntie, if it's a mentor that's more of a teacher, having great mentors, that's who you go to when you feel like you have imposter syndrome. And that's not going to go away once you get a PhD and you go into academia or industry or wherever you are. You will still have those feelings of, I don't belong. So having those great mentors are people that you can go back to and really talk a lot about who you are, how you got to where you are, and eventually where you're going to go. And you do belong where you are. So great mentors as well are a great way to help with that imposter syndrome piece. The final thing is we just have some contact information listed. If you have additional questions or comments, definitely email one of our emissaries at emissary@indiana.edu. You can also find out more about the graduate school at graduate.indiana.edu. Thank you, panel, for